Y'all, something tells me this reading is going to be somewhat dramatic. I'm going to use my deck that has reversals in it as well, and we'll give it a nice thorough shuffle. My name is Dan. Welcome to That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool, that's chill. Go check out my channel. There are so many other readings there. I'm sure you'll find something that fits you. I have not been as consistent with my readings as I used to be, but I had a cancellation in my day today, so I finally found some time to sit down with y'all and just suss the vibes. And I thought it was going to be like a chill reading, but as I sat down, I'm like, oh, maybe not. Maybe, look, we'll find out. I'm always open to being wrong, you know? So let's get into it. Let's see what the universe wants to bring to your awareness today. Universe, please, insight and information. What does this beautiful collective need to just see a little bit clearer? We have the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, can I get some context on that card, please? Wheel of Fortune in reverse and Justice. Okay. There does seem to be an obstruction of intuition going on here. Like there are moves that want to be made and decisions that want to be, like opportunities to make decisions that want to be taken. But there seems to be a lot of blockage around listening to intuitive inclinations. Oh, hello. Hi. Listening to those kind of like gentle pushes. There's a lot of fear coming up. So there's kind of like all these pathways, but there seems to be this like this frozen energy about moving forward and doubting whether or not a feeling is intuition or a trauma response or fear. And look, don't I know mistaking intuition as trauma bonds or fear responses or anxiety. You know, when you have like a heightened anxiety about something and then you read that as like, oh, it's my body telling me that I shouldn't do this thing. And sometimes that is absolutely correct. Sometimes your body is absolutely giving you a warning about something. And sometimes it's your fear kind of stopping you from doing that because for whatever reason. And it's really, really hard to differentiate between the two. I feel like that's a big thing going on here, and it's kind of stalling any movement. There seems to be this energy of inaction going on. Then we have the Justice card. It feels like something needs to be set right. But there seems to be this lack of movement around the justice here. Things need to be put back in order. So let's look at these two energies. Let's look at the blockages that might be surrounding you right now. Now, it might be you right now. It might be someone around you. This might be an energy lingering around you. So take it how you need to take it, yeah? And if it's not your reading at all and you're like, this doesn't sound like me, then go find another reading. It's okay if this is not your reading. Okay, let's look first and foremost at the Justice card and see what needs to be addressed. Universe, please, insight and information. We have the Two of Wands, Six of Swords in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. Let's have a look at these cards. There we go. I see this imagery immediately of like this coming home, specifically with like the shores and the boats. Like there does seem to be this feeling of returning home. Like there was a venture away and then there's like a decision to come back, or a decision to move away has been rescinded. But it feels like there is some unexpected returns with blocked communication. No, I don't say blocked. I feel like stalled. Like there's communication intended to like break through everything and it's not working. It's not happening. And all of this is really predicated on this Two of Wands energy. It's like what do I do from here? There's a lot of confusion of like what the next step is. If this is you, it's the deciding between the two that is like stopping any motion moving forward. But I feel like you already know that. I feel like you know this. Let's get some more information on this Two of Wands energy. I'm just trying to tap further into your energy a bit more. Three of Coins in reverse, Two of Swords. It really feels like, it's almost like there's part of you, yeah, King of Coins in reverse. Okay. I feel like you feel a lot safer in not making any decisions about anything. You feel like a safety in the inaction. I don't think that it is a intentional thing. I don't think you think to yourself that this is a safer space to be in. I don't think that you think of yourself as someone who doesn't like taking action on things. But we, as people, as humans, we gravitate towards what is familiar and because it feels safe. So even though we could move towards something that is good, because it is unfamiliar, we'd rather stay in a comfortable, familiar space. And don't I know that, okay? Don't I know staying in a familiar space, even if it is awful? Because you're afraid of what else could exist, purely for the fact that it's unfamiliar, even if it is really, really, really good. There seems to be attempts to distract and refocus on personal projects while not making decisions, and that can feel like a decision, the fact that you're focusing on yourself. But I don't think that these things are actually moving you forward in the way that they want to, and I think that you know that as well. I think that you are distracting yourself away from real, intentional, aligned movement forward. But I don't think this is all happening on a conscious level. I think I'm like low-key calling out your coping mechanisms for the most part. And that's how you cope with what you're going through. There is absolutely no judgment on my end of how anyone does that. You don't seem to be hurting anyone other than yourself by kind of stalling yourself from taking any certain path. I feel like as I come into this energy of yours with the Justice card of like things that need to be set right, there is just a lot of this stalling energy. You have a lot of stalling energy around you. It's like even when I try and get into like what needs to be set right, even answering that question is like, it's a stall. It's all just stalling. It's stalling around defining it. It's stalling around explaining it. It's stalling around looking at it. We're just stalling. Okay. I'm going to attempt one more time to actually draw on this Justice card to see what is going on here. And I'm going to see if your energy lets me in. Universe, please, insight and information. What can you tell me about this energy? Ooh, excuse me. We have the Queen of Coins. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm picking this up as two things. There could be someone in your world that is, I want to say of like a higher status, but higher status to you. And I'm seeing this person show up in two ways. So there's a person who maybe you are intimidated by, that you see as kind of like having it all together. There could also be someone who just has an authority over you that you, the words fear repercussions come up. You could have both of these figures in your life. There might be someone who is, you know, really intimidating that you look up to, and then there could be another person that has authority over you that you are feeling monitored by. They could be the same person. They could be different people. I need to pull some more cards. Okay. Universe, please, insight and information. Queen of Cups in reverse. One of these people, both of these people, make you feel very afraid of opening up emotionally. Okay. It feels like there's a lack of safety there, a lack of safety that you feel within yourself to express these things. Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so you don't really move forward with any emotional stuff because you definitely feel like you've been conditioned not to come forward in an emotional way. There could be a mother type figure that has given you the impression that you can't move forward in an emotional type way. That could be the authority figure. And I say that with all the love in the world. As someone who grew up in an Asian family and learned to save face and just keep that smile on. Don't I understand? Not presenting with emotions, and it was definitely something that really had to be unlearned, or just maybe I was never that good at it to begin with. You're still stalling though. You're still stalling. What is it here that needs to be set right? I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. It seems like it's strange because when we try and address one thing, it's almost like your energy wants to circle around the thing and not actually answer the question or focus on the thing. It kind of diverts around it and kind of hints at associated feelings and motivations, but it's still very there's a lot of peripheral stuff around this justice energy. Okay, interesting. That's not something I do. Okay. Either you're less scheming or you're self-soothing, or this is something that you do, okay? One more time. I said one more time before. And your energy. Oh, it's so good at stalling. All right. 9 of Coins. The 9 of Wands, King of Cups in reverse. The way that I feel like part of you has resolved to deal with your vulnerability and emotions is to keep it all locked up in here and to create a beautiful life for yourself independently, to somehow make sense of why you are on the outside of what kind of outside something. So it feels like if you have been excluded from a certain person in your life or a certain pathway, you're kind of no, well, I'm going to make what I have here amazing. Out of this fear of venturing over the fence. Look, I'm not contesting that. That's good. Live a good life, But it feels like it's happening in a way of settling and suppressing. There's a lot of self-soothing. I can feel a lot of parts of my body suddenly feeling really tense that I feel like I need to address to make it better. Okay. From what I can surmise, how you are, your energy is circling around this thing. It feels like there's a situation that you want to move towards that you feel like you're on the outside of. So you also don't feel comfortable talking about your emotions, which is very apparent without the cards toning up like that. I can tell by how you're circling the issue and not your energy won't let me in. That's fine. It seems like there's a lot of subconscious emotional suppression that could come from some childhood wounds and conditioning. Like, I don't think wounds, like, I just think maybe it was like not always safe or validated for you to be expressing your emotions when you were younger, and that just kind of like kept on going into adulthood. It makes things like decision about moving forward very difficult, because when you're suppressing your emotions, you suppress your feelings, and you do that for long enough, you don't know what you feel anymore. So making decisions that feel aligned is really, really difficult, because like if you're not feeling things, like how are you supposed to know what aligns with you? So it feels like there's just a lot of blockage, and that's leaking into not just certain pathways and relationships that you would want to pursue, but also just the things that you are currently pursuing, small projects, hobbies. It's all kind of blocking up there as well. Like, these blockages and these emotions are screaming to be addressed. And if you don't address it in the ways, like in a most straightforward way, it will find its way around. It'll find its way around into new friendships, new hobbies. Like, it's going to find its way in to try and get your attention. You might be noticing that as well. You won't let me in on whatever it is that needs to be set right. Maybe you haven't let yourself in on that. Maybe that's why we're not getting the answer on that. Fine, okay? That's fine. That's your business. But if you don't address it, it will make itself be addressed by getting attention somewhere else in your life. So best have a look at it. Let's have a look at this blocked intuition, High Priestess in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reversed energy. Okay. Oh, this feels like very personal reading. I told you it was going to be dramatic. I feel like I'm telling you off. I feel like I'm giving you a hard time. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I really don't. I feel like I've given you a harder time than this before. Okay. Universe, please, insight and information on this High Priestess energy. I can feel it on my collarbones. What is that? I don't usually feel that pressure there on my collarbones. I hope you guys are okay. You haven't hurt yourself. You haven't done some weird skiing accident and hurt your collarbones. I had a friend that did that, broke their collarbone. Oh my God, I cannot imagine anything more terrifying. Okay. I got too much empathy. Oh, sorry. I just knocked the microphone. I got too much empathy, y'all. Like, I even think about something like that happened years ago and my body feels it. Okay. We have the Fool in reverse and the Nine of Cups. I think that there is this idea of fantasizing about a new beginning that is actually impeding on that new beginning ever happening. There seems to be this like ideal situation in which some opportunity renews itself. Maybe there was a situation, whether that's a job, a person, a relationship, that maybe in the past you had somewhat fumbled, right? And the fantasy of it coming back and it being right place, right time, and you're in the right mindset to be able to deal with it correctly, there's this fantasy of that happening, right? And that is the exact thing that is actually stopping the renewal from happening, because you are depending on some future version of yourself and some future events to make this thing happen that you want. But you know what makes things happen that you want? You. Like, it's you being that person that takes that action that gets the things that you want. That's when that will happen. And I feel like that lesson has to be learned at some point for everyone. It's like we can always imagine someone coming up to us and offering this opportunity or that or whatever. And it always happens to this like enlightened future version of us. But the enlightened future version of us that handles situations better than past versions of ourselves is just us deciding in the moment that we're going to handle it differently. And that is what needs to happen. And the enlightened version of us only appears when we make the decision to do the thing that they would do. Like, if you're always waiting around for this better, more wiser, more calm version of yourself to exist, then you're always going to be waiting for them. All that it takes for them to exist is for you to do what they would do. And that is the only way that they come to exist. You make the action to make them exist. Does that make sense? Anyways, there is this like gorgeous fantasy going on in your mind of like, this is how it's going to happen one day, right? And it's actually stopping any new beginning happening there because it's this inactive one day thing. And it feels like intuition. It feels like, yeah, I'm following my intuition with, like, I just gotta let this happen. Oh no, now your guides are getting sassy with me. What I heard was like, oh yeah, like you let everything else happen. I don't know what that means. Maybe there were situations where you didn't act and you wish that you did, and now things have played out in a way that aren't your ideal. I don't know. Maybe that was just for one particular person. I don't know. Yeah, okay. This feels like a very, very, very specific reading. Let's see what advice your guides have for you. Universe, please, insight and information. What last words of wisdom? What can this beautiful collective do to help move them through this process? King of Wands in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay. Okay, so number one, you definitely need to step mindfully and intentionally, spiritually into some calmer waters. So whatever process you have for that, do that. And then two, you need to stop running away. These are very flighty cards that are in the reverse, right? So very tumultuous energy, very fiery. And it all needs to just like, it feels like the action that needs to be inversed, right? Is this fiery, emotional, like, it feels angsty almost, to like go in every direction except the one that's needed, right? So all of that there needs to be a definite recentering going on. And then it feels like you're moving away from the things that you're scared of. And that's not helpful because then you're just running. But you don't have to run towards the things that you're scared of either. You just need to run towards the things that make you happy and run towards the things that you love. And I think that those are standing very, very close to the things that you're afraid of. Or maybe the things that you love and the things that make you happy, if you have them, you fear losing them. So this love and fear is like held together. So you'd rather just run from it. You'd rather just run altogether. But that's not moving towards joy, happiness, love, connection. That's moving away from all of that. So the cards are asking for you to recenter and move towards the love and the joy that you fear losing. I understand that, like, if you make a decision to move away from something, then it's your decision. And so maybe the loss doesn't hit as hard. And there's that whole cliched thing of like, better to have loved and lost and never to have loved at all. And sometimes our brain's like, no, actually, I don't want to know what that love feels like because it's so good and it's so beautiful. And when I lose it, it's devastating. Fine. Okay. If you're like content with living your life being like as numb as possible, then great. I think about the the greatest heartbreaks, maybe not the greatest heartbreaks. Actually, no, the greatest heartbreaks. I feel like trauma and heartbreak, they can be separate. And I could do without the trauma. Oh my God, I could do without the trauma. But like the heartbreak that is felt when you love someone so much and they're in such close proximity and it's so beautiful and so joyful, and then for whatever reason you can't be close to them and it hurts. Like it hurts so much. It sounds weird, right? And maybe I'm just like a creative person that likes to torture myself and like feel emotions, or maybe I'm just a Pisces, but like it is such a gift to be able to feel the depth of all of that and to feel so alive. I've never felt more alive than when I felt absolute joy and absolutely torturous pain. That just proves that like I care for someone, you know? Getting too deep. I told you, oh my God, it's so dramatic. Oh my gosh. I can feel you running from that. If you're content with not feeling that, if that's the goal, then you're also going to have to be content with not feeling all of that joy, not giving and receiving all of that love, and kind of closing off from all of that. Closing off from those feelings, closing off from the decisions about where to move forward because you have locked all of that off. Yeah. I don't know if this is like a helpful reading. I feel like I'm digging into this energy of, I don't want to say you're in like a heavy place, but it's very closed. It's very, very closed. Okay. Let's see. The closer I get to this energy, the more I just have like this feeling in my gut it's a bit of a knot. It's very like subtle, but it's there. So I need to step away just because I need to recalibrate. Let's get into some oracle cards. Universe, please, insight and information. What last words do you have for this beautiful collective? Number 1, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. I feel like underneath all of this, you're probably in some way like formulating. I feel like there is a very quiet part of your brain that is already formulating a step forward before you like, you know, kind of like compartmentalize it and put it away. Stop overthinking it is what the cards are saying. And we have potential and possibility. Reach out to the potential that is calling for you. Future, highest self, quantum. A reminder here that like you literally have the power to change your reality. And this isn't like it can be a woo-woo quantum magical thing, this energy that you're sending out, but also just through decisions that you make, steps that you take. These things change your reality. So if you're ready for a different reality, whether that's a big change, a little change, if you're ready for it, time to start making some steps, taking some actions. Anyways, I hope this found whoever needed to hear this. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next reading.